that as you stand in your physical body and you sift through the details of life as you knew you would, that you launch so many endless rockets of desire, and the universe expands and improves as a result of your exposure to life. It just gets better and better vibrationally. And the new generations that are born into this experience are born from this new leading edge place that you've carved out. But we want you to understand that you and every other species on the planet, better said, you and every other consciousness on the planet, and every particle of everything is consciousness, you are constantly asking for improvement, and the source energy part of you, the vibrational part of you, finds that improvement, finds it immediately, and from then on begins offering from that new vantage point. So that means that as you stand on your physical earth and you worry about global warming, you ask for your earth to maintain its balance. As you worry about earthquakes or volcanoes, you ask for a stable environment. As you worry about economic upheaval, you ask for more stability. And what we want to convey to you is that asking really, really matters. And that asking wouldn't be as extreme or intense or as focused as it is if you were not exposed to the life that caused you to focus it. Now, the reason it really matters is because it is from that vibrational reality that all reality that expands or extends from generation to generation to generation. In other words, the longevity that you know as life on this planet extends purely. This is new. We have not said this to anyone ever, so you're going to enjoy the resonance that you feel as you hear it. As this vibrational reality that we are describing comes to be, this earth experience that extends from generation to generation to generation to generation comes only out of that vortex of creation. In other words, when we say to you, you can be sure that well-being is the order of this universe, that's how we know that to be true. Because there's only the pure, undiluted, non-resistant thought of well-being that is the basis of all this new creation. We want you to remember that you get what you think about, but you cannot do anything other than mess up your own experience. What you think about here in this physical realm, of course, law of attraction is responding to it. You get what you think about. But we want you to understand, we want you to get it, that there is this vibrational reality that is formed, that the larger part of you, the eternal part of you, the part of you that lives on and on and on, the part of you that is the next generation and the next, the part of you that is God force, the part of you that keeps this planet spinning in its orbit in perfect proximity to other planets, that part of you is the receiver and the holder of the best of life that you're synthesizing. In other words, we want you to hold in your mind the idea of this place marker that source energy is, that as you carve out the details of life experience and you know what you don't want to be sick, you want to be well, and on and on and on. As you keep emanating those rockets of desires, source energy, the God force within you, inner being, whatever you're wanting to call that, holds that positive place marker. And law of attraction keeps responding to that powerful, positive place marker. Now, the reason that we're giving this to you is because we want to give you words that reassure you unequivocally of the well-being and the longevity of the eternalness of that which is you. We want you to understand that the well-being of that which you are living here on this planet is unequivocally assured. In other words, the well-being is, the well-being is, the well-being is. And the reason that we know that it is because we've seen what you put into the escrow, which is the basis from which all new creation is coming forth. You just don't need to worry about that. We're also giving it to you in this way because we want you to understand how it is that we can say to you, you get what you think about, and then we can also promise you that the well-being of your planet is assured. There are billions of people on your planet, and billions of you are not worried about global warming. Billions of you are not beating the drum of anything very long. You're a fickle bunch, and that's really good. Even CNN can only give you a little while of any story before it has to move on to the next one. And that's a very good thing. Even though it distorts what it gives you dramatically and gives you far more reason for concern than you deserve in terms of the weight and balance, not the poop to value, the weight and balance of what's going on. We want you to understand that well-being is assured. It's in this vibrational reality, which is the basis of everything that's coming forth. Your guidance system is relational. It's letting you know how what you're doing, what you're thinking, what you're saying right here, right now, this red hot minute stacks up with who you really are and what you really know and how you really feel, you see. Now, sometimes something will happen and you will know it's just wrong. Esther will say, Abraham, it's wrong. Agree with me. It's wrong. And we say, we agree with you. Just don't ask us to come out of our vortex of well-being to wallow with you in your disconnection. In fact, that's the only reason that disconnection can ever occur. You have walked away, you have wallowed away from who you really are. Because who you really are is in this vortex of creation, in this vibrational reality, where all new requests go. What do you mean a vibrational reality? It's not very satisfying. Can I spend it? Can I sleep with it? What do you mean vibrational reality? And we say everything that you know that is physical now was vibrational reality first. In other words, there is a vibrational reality at the basis of all that you know. And so when you understand that when you don't have enough money and you ask for more, you have put over time a veritable fortune in your vibrational reality. But to claim it, you got to get in this vortex of creation where the vibration is that which you have become. And that's a part of our message to you that stretches your thinking just a little bit, because you have been magnificently focused in your leading edge time-space reality, out here on the leading edge, sifting through contrast, and you've come to think that reality, which is what you can see and hear and smell and taste and touch, that this reality that so many of you agree upon, that this reality is what you have come forth to create. And we want you to understand that while you are certainly the creator of this magnificent time-space reality, that if you will just for a little while focus upon the vibrational reality that you are creating, that you always create first, and let this vibrational reality and all of the feelings within it be what motivate you in the direction of the choosing of the thoughts that you choose. If we can convince you in this short time that we are together today to let this vibrational reality be the important thing that it really is in the context of the big picture of your life, if we can distract you from the reality of what's going on in your bank account or what's going on in your body or what's going on in your relationships, if you can be distracted from it long enough that you deactivate the vibration of it, while you activate the vibration of what you really want relative to those subjects, it is our promise to you that your reality will begin to morph. It will evolve. It will change. It will match perfectly the image of what's going on over here in this vortex of creation. We really like it when we find an analogy. This vortex analogy is so magnificent. We've written a book about it because we want you to understand that you are source energy also in a physical body. But the source part of you, this expanded part of you, is evolving because of the physical part of you. This is the thing that so many of our physical friends don't understand. They think, oh, I might have been non-physical and there might be some soul or source in me and there might be a God who is aware of me, but here I am out here on this bleeding leading edge, and aren't I here to prove some sort of worthiness? And we say, not in any way. You are here to create. You are here as an expander of this ever-expanding universe, and you can't stop the expansion. All day, every day, you are contributing to the expansion of this universe. Future generations will benefit mightily by what you have put into this vortex. But the reason that we're here talking to you is because you've summoned us also to let you know that we don't think that you should have to croak to catch up with what you put in the vortex. We think that you should be able to be aware of this vibrational reality and tune yourself emotionally to it, to the point that you are a chronic vibrational match to the evolved being that you have become. Because unless you are keeping up with who life has caused you to become, you're not going to feel good, and no one can do anything about it other than you. Sometimes Esther will say, somebody should fix that for me, because if that were fixed, I would feel better. And we don't disagree with her. It's better to look at things that are the way you want them to be. You do feel better. But if you are dependent even a little bit on somebody else fixing something so that you can feel better, you are aware that there are too many moving parts. You are aware that that's a very conditional love that has such limits, because you cannot control enough of the environment around you to hold yourself steadily in alignment with who you are. But when you discover, and you may very well do it here today, that your good feeling in the moment, that your friskiness, that your clarity, that your vitality and stamina, that your love, that your appreciation, that your joy, that your good feeling in this moment is contingent only upon one thing, and that is your vibrational proximity to who you really are. Who you are is liquid love. Who you are is pure positive energy. So when you're feeling despair or depression, vibrationally speaking, you're way off the track. But that does not keep the source within you from knowing you and loving you and being the larger part of you and calling you home to it, calling you in the direction of it. We want to ask all of you, do you believe us when we say that when you are experiencing contrast of, let's say, sickness or something less than you want with your physical body, that you send an equal and proportionate request for wellness? Do you believe that? Yes. And so, if you believe that, as the larger part of you now is weller than it was before you got sick, can you accept that if you could just get into the vortex where the wellness is, you'd be well? You don't have to drag the sickness in there and heal it. That's really an important distinction. You don't have to fix what's broken. In other words, the vibration of the question and the vibration of the answer are different. The vibration of the problem and the vibration of the solution are different. The vibration of the sickness and the vibration of the healing are different. And so many people are so focused on the problem or the question or the sickness that they use that as their reason not to get into the vortex, where if you could just let go of those reasons and get in, watch a cat that's having a good day and get in. Jerry and Esther's neighbor's cat wants to live with them. And spends almost all day on their porch looking in, saying, aren't I cute? Don't you like me? Wouldn't you really like to pet me? Wouldn't you really like to give me something to eat? Wouldn't you really like to take a walk with me? In other words, that cat is just joy oozing. Esther has attracted the cat because she loves happy beasts. And so here's this cat just happy and around. Really a wonderful, easy thing to use as an excuse to get into a vortex. There are so many easy reasons to get into the vortex, but you have to let go of that flawed premise that you've been carrying around for a long time, which is, I have to ferret out my problem. I have to shine a spotlight on it. I have to get it identified and confirmed by many other experts. I have to write about it to everyone I know. I have to take complete ownership of it. I have to practice the complete vibration of it. I have to become an absolute vibrational match to it, and then I have to take hold of it in some way and drag it to a place that it will never be allowed to go. And we say, just let it go. It isn't you. It isn't you. Just let it go. Those problems, they are not you. They are the catalyst that gave you a bounce, but they no longer represent you. Go to who you are. Go to where you are. Feel the fullness of who you are and watch all of that stuff just fall away, fall away. It will fall away instantaneously in terms of your emotion or mood. And once you hang around in the vortex for a while, it will fall away in terms of all manifestations. And people will say, hey, where'd that go? You say, what? What? I have no idea what you're even talking about.